Hi guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to make a beautiful boho invitation for your next event. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is zucchini and pistachio, and this is our very first video. So today I'm going to walk you through how to make this beautiful bohemian pampas style invitation. Now you can do this for a baby shower, bridal shower, first birthdays, really whichever event you would like. I think it would be perfect. It's very classy. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So what you're going to use is Canva. Now if you've never used Canva, you're going to have to create an account, but don't worry because it's free. So you want to go ahead and sign up to Canva. It's super easy, and if you've never used Canva, there's so many features. This website is amazing. So if you love creating and designing, then this, but maybe lack the the knowledge to use, Photoshop, this is the place for you. I love Canva because I always enjoy design. Now, as you can see right from the beginning, you can kind of get lost with all the features that they have. So right off the bat, what you want to do, since we're making an invitation, is click the purple create a design button. So let's click it right now. And you want to hit invitation. You can type up invitation or find it if you scroll down. And I like to always use portrait. That's usually the 5x7 standard invitation. You can't go wrong with a 5x7. Now, if you would like to adjust the size, that's also very easy to do on Canva, right? So you have the portrait, you have landscape. It's also 5x7, but you also have a square invitation. So when you hit invitation, you're going to get a brand new blank slate. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through. If you start your design with a 5x7, then you want to change your mind and you want to adjust the size, you can click on resize. And that is the beautiful thing about Canva, is that you can turn anything into anything else. So if you would like to create a poster, you can click the poster and the dimensions will be resized. So that is a beautiful feature about Canva. It's very handy. There are different templates there that you can look, but I find them to be a little safe, so I always like to create, obviously, my own designs, and I use a lot of the graphics that are available on Canva. Canva has a lot of fonts free, and of course, if you have the Pro account, which is $12 a month, then you have more access to some of the Pro features, like some of the graphics, and you'll see. So right now we're heading over to the original file. So this is my beautiful vision board for this style of invitation. Now I'll make a different video on how to make this vision board. It's super easy. It took me like 5 minutes to do. So that, I always like to start with some inspiration, and you can see my color palette there with the hex colors. I made it a little larger there so you can see a little better. You want to use like a location, anything really that inspires you to create a certain style of look, right? So you see the different colors, some hashtags, and I did use some wood elements, so you'll see, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, so I like to put my fonts there, and that's basically what I use to get inspired to create different invitations. So if you would like to see how I made this vision board, please hit that subscribe button, and we would be so excited to show you guys how. Again, this was a template from Canva, and it's super easy. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started on creating our beautiful invitation. So what you want to do is open up a new page. So the way you start a new page is on the very top there. You see that little add page with the plus sign. Okay, you're going to go ahead and click that. But you have other features like duplicate a page, and the reason why you want to duplicate a page is because sometimes when you already have a design, you want to see how different elements look together. So you see here I have different fonts, so it's just so much faster to duplicate a page, right, than having to readjust all the graphics all over again. So that I love that feature and I use it a whole lot. All right, so you have a brand new page. Now, if you click on that little square with the color, you're going to see that Canva automatically takes any graphics that you have and you can adjust the color with the color wheel. So you can click on the particular color that you want, you can adjust it, but the beautiful thing is that you have all your blended elements there. So it makes it very easy to create and the proper aesthetic with the color. So that's a wonderful feature. All right, so what we're going to do is click boho under photos, okay? And you're right off the bat, you're going to see all of this beautiful bohemian inspiration. But right there, click on that image. Now, let me stop right here and just preface with, it is a pro image. So that means that if you're doing this for personal, if you want to print it, you're going to have to pay a small fee for that image. Anything pro, you're going to have to pay a dollar or a couple of bucks for it. Okay, so when you click on those three dots, you're gonna see the licensing. Now, for personal reasons, you're able to use it, but you can also use it for commercial use, and that's what I use it for. It used to be kind of hard to find the licensing agreement, but Canva made this very simply by adding that information to each image. You can see what is allowed and what is not allowed. So you can use these images. If you have the pro account, it's going to be free. It's not free, but included in your price. It tells you not to use, don't resell the image like it's yours. Otherwise, you're free to use. So go ahead and click on that image, super easy, and then you just resize. Now, use the guidelines and the grid lines to center. All right, so you see here, I'm making it a little larger because I want to be able to fit my font inside. So I'm stretching it out. All right, now these vectors usually you're able to stretch out without losing some of the quality, right? So you could hit that position button and it will center it for you. All right, so you see how the colors beautifully blend, right? Because I already had that background color and that was based on my vision board colors that I had there. All right, so just center it, and then when you're done, you want to make sure that you have enough space to write your font. I like it when, it's not that I like it, but I don't mind when some of the image kind of bleeds out and gets cut off a little bit, because it just gives it a nicer look when you have enough room, right? So you don't want to shrink the graphics so much that you don't have enough space for your font. Now, Canva has many different options for fonts. Okay, a lot of them are free. Some of them are, you have to have the pro account. But for the most part, you have beautiful options. Now, for this invitation, I wanted to include a wood-grained font. So as of now, Canva does not have that option of changing the font fill. So I go to a third-party website called Fontmeme, Fontmeme, and I just search for the font that I like, and you can search by different categories, or you can type up the actual name. And for this particular invitation, I used The Loved, so you would just type The Loved font, and then there it is. It's a beautiful, romantic, but modern font. And so you go ahead and type up what you want your invitation to say. So I put bridal shower, and for the effect, I chose a wood element. Please make sure that you use a high font size. I use 300, and it looks pretty large, but I don't want it to, better large and shrink it than small and zoom it out, right? So once you hit that, hit generate, and it will generate a file, and then you just save it to your computer and upload it to Canva. It's super easy. So here we go. So I have my file that took 30 seconds, and now I want to upload my file. You see it there down below, so I'm just going to drag it and drop it, and automatically uploads it to Canva. And now the wonderful thing is that you have it saved there in your uploads. All right, I love the storage, and you can shrink it, and so now you see that the quality is not it's not lowered by zooming out or zooming in. All right, so there's my beautiful wood elements. I think it gives it a nice bohemian touch. So you want to center your image. Now this is not editable on Canva. You would have to go back to the font meme to edit it. Okay, so after I have my nice caption, bridal shower, I want to make sure that it is positioned nice and center. So you click position and center. All right, and that assures that it's nicely centered and nothing's off. Okay, so they have a lot of features for that, so that everything looks nice and neat. So what you want to do now is add text, and you can add headings or subheadings. Here I'm writing "You're invited to a," and then I'm going to position that over bridal shower. Now don't worry, I'm going to shrink that because usually invitations, the font size can range from 10 to like 14 at the most, right, for some of like the subheadings. So I'm going to just go ahead and type up my wording and then worry about the style a little later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that text box, right, so I don't have to change the font size. So that just makes it a little easier, like little tips and tricks to make your life a little easier and things to go a little faster. So then I would write, "You're invited to a bridal shower honoring the bride-to-be, the lucky bride-to-be." So exciting. I wish I had this while I was planning my wedding, because I would have probably just created my own invitation. I feel like you spend so much money on invitations, and when you think about it, it's if you can create something beautiful yourself and save yourself a whole lot of cash, I think it's worth it. But to each his own, I guess. All right, so now I'm back to font me, and now I'm going to come up with the lucky girl's name. So let's call her Rachel Lowe, right? And hit generate, and so there it is, Rachel Lowe's name. And same thing, you're going to want to save. It's going to quickly download. I mean, these files are tiny, right? And you just drag and drop. Boom, there it is, and then you can adjust, right? So a little bit more, one more step by going to font meme, but honestly, I don't mind doing it. I just go ahead and adjust the size, center it, make sure it's nice and centered with the rest of the text. All right, so now you obviously want to type up the event details. So we're going to make this a Saturday spring wedding. Saturday, April 20th, 2021. Now, I'm going to go. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about a wedding. Where's my head? No, it's a bridal shower, right? A bridal shower spring affair. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take out that extra comma. I think I like it better the way it's written that way. So Saturday, April 20th, 2021 at 1 p.m. and we're going to create a venue. So you start seeing here that you're kind of running out of room, right? So let's finish typing the events. So you obviously are going to need an address, right? So we'll call this Orchid Drive, and then I normally just put your city, your state, right? Because I'm making this for my clients. All right. Okay, so now it's time to put the RSVP sign. So as you can see, I already have it saved from my previous invitation. So I just want to make sure that this there's enough room. But I'm gonna go ahead and click it. You can slide it. Now, obviously, now we want to make sure that everything fits nice, nicely spaced out. So I'm going to go ahead and start looking for some fonts, okay? So the really cool thing about Canva is that, they have a lot of cool free fonts. But when you hit the that little where it says styles and hit fonts on top of that, you can kind of look at some font combinations so that you don't spend so much time trying to find the perfect font. All right, so that's a great feature that they have. So I'm going to look at this. I believe that one says Jonathan. And Jonathan with Montserrat matches really well. And Jonathan looks very much like the love font that I use. So I'm going to go ahead and use Montserrat and see how that looks together. There's Montserrat. I'm going to go ahead and click it one more time. And now I want to see what this looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Okay, so I'm not loving it. It's okay. I mean, I think it could be better. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use the font that I was using before. So let me find it. Oh, that's the copy. Okay. There it is. That's the one I really like. It's called Railway Thin, and I think I'm going to apply it to the rest of my invitation here. So you can just type it Railway. You could also search fonts by modern, contemporary, urban, typography, different categories. All right, so there's Railway Thin, and I really like the combo here between, the more elegant bridal with the modern font. Okay, so let me just adjust now. Since we are running out of room here, I need to adjust the spacing. Now you can do this manually, but you could also highlight all the components, and I'll show you a quick tip on how to actually position them properly. So if you highlight them and click position, you can position them evenly, either vertically or horizontally, and that just kind of helps clean up the document. So you see how nicely evenly spaced it is. And then if you click tidy up, it'll really just make it, as neat as possible. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to highlight these, I'm going to go ahead and highlight these elements again. And the reason why I want to do this is so that I can group them. So this is a tip to try to group them together and keep the scaling properly. Okay, so you see how I'm highlighting them. And so now I have grouped them, and so now I can adjust the scale the way I want it to. Oops, I let go. So let me do this again. There we go. All right, so now as you can see, I can click group, and now it moves as one image. All right, so now I can properly scale it. Since I have my spacing, the spacing will stay the same. Now you got to be careful because the font will be decreased once you start decreasing the image. All right, so I want to find a good medium here where I can still fit my RSVP info. And yep, and then you see that magenta line there that tells me I'm centered, and I believe I have enough room to write my RSVP info. And now this text here can use a little less spacing. So when you highlight the text, now you can click on spacing and you can adjust the text. Now if you go to the right, you increase the text space, the line height, and if you go to the left, you decrease the line height. So you can see here. So the trick is, obviously, you don't want the letters to overshadow each other. So that's a little bit too close. So let me space them out a little bit more. There we go. All right. Because you are adding lots of information on the invitation, you don't want it to look overcrowded. So spacing is very important, and don't be afraid about negative space. So here I just want to use capital font, right? So you can click on that, the capital or lowercase, and it will automatically capitalize your font. So honestly, once you start using Canva, it just makes sense. Everything is so user friendly. you know, everything that you need is really at your fingertips. So now, okay, so now I think I'm liking how everything is looking. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the honoring the bride to be, only to keep the fonts and the size properly, right? So I'm going to go ahead and type in my RSVP info. So I'll go ahead and type to Stephanie. I guess I should capitalize Stephanie. At XXX. So phone number. Alright. So now I want to decrease this font, the spacing here, line height. And I think that looks good right there. I want to shrink this text box. Okay, so let me just position it over there. And so you see the guidelines there, right? It's there to keep the document nice and even. Okay, so let's take a look. Love it, love it, love it. Now, obviously, you can adjust however you want it to look, but this is my sample, and I just love the wood elements, the bohemian pampas leaves, the orchid, just screams bridal shower to me. But I could see this for a nice first birthday, you know, a little bit elegant. So, yep. So that's the product, guys. And I hope that you guys learned something today. Now, again, if just keep in mind that as you are, you know, working with Canva, there are certain elements that you will have to pay for if you don't have the pro account. Okay, so we're pretty much almost done. The last thing we just need to do is create a back because we have that beautiful cream color. So you want to add page, and it should keep the same color as your document. And you know, if you would like to add more font, if you want to add some information on the back, you're welcome to do so. A lot of the kids' parties, sometimes clients will ask for things on the back. And then now you're ready to download. So now let's talk a little bit about file type, because file type is very important. All right, so when you click download, which is that downward arrow, all right, you can download as a PDF or as a JPEG or PNG. Now, my suggestion is to always download it as a PDF, as PDFs have the highest quality. I don't recommend you downloading it as a JPEG. Reason being because you're not going to get as a great DPI. So you normally want to have, for these, you know, invitations, you want to have about a 300 DPI, and you're going to achieve that with the PDF. Okay, now if your graphics are not 300 DPI, then your invitation is not going to come out as a 300 DPI, even as if you save it as a PDF. So all of the graphic quality is very important, especially for more formal events. Okay, so I suggest that if you have to print JPEG and you want to do it here through Canva, that you increase the pixel size. I would go at least I would pick the highest pixel size, which will increase the size of your file. All right, but if you can, I would definitely suggest you do a PDF. Okay, so you can download the PDF, but mind you, now if you want to download, I would download each individual page. I would not download the front and the back. All right, now if you need a JPEG for online printing, you can go to PDF to PDF to JPEG.net. It's a free service, and it's and this you can get the JPEG at a higher quality. So you want to click 300 DPI, which is the excellent. Upload your downloaded PDF file, and it will turn it into a JPEG super quick. So that is what I suggest if you will need a JPEG for printing. Now, if you're going to want to text these or email these invitations, because that's becoming a little bit more popular now with these in these days, I would suggest you saving it as a PNG with the highest pixel size available. PNGs are just wonderful. They transfer really nicely digitally, so you would just increase the pixel size and hit download, and that way you can easily download and attach it to any email. certain emails, you know, might have a size restriction, so you can play around with the pixel size. And there you have it, your own DIY custom invitation. It's gorgeous. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I loved making it for you guys. So please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time on Zucchini and Pistachio. Bye, guys.